Technology is reshaping our lives. It dramatically changed the way we live, the way we learn, the way we work, and the way we communicate. Technology has tremendous potential to connect us with one another. But there are still people who remain unreached, disconnected, and deprived of digital opportunities. In 2017, only 67 million Filipinos are online. 41% of people in urban areas are connected, and only 22% in rural areas have access to ICT services. That is why the Department of Information and Communications Technology aims to narrow down the digital divide in the country through the Technology Empowerment for Education, Employment, Entrepreneurs, and Economic Development, or TECH4ED project. TECH4ED aims to establish centers that cater to areas with minimal or no access to ICT, providing them with services and contents on education, skills training, and various government services. These centers have access to the TECH4ED platform, offering content such as e-edu skills, delivers e-learning on demand. E-assist provides modules for skills development. E-marketplace allows greater market reach for businesses. E-govserve provides direct government services to rural areas. E-agri offers contents on agriculture technologies. E-health gives access to basic health information. Rural impact sourcing provides learning materials to acquire knowledge and skills for online jobs. And Gender and Development offers modules for women empowerment. TECH4ED centers serve as hubs that enable skills training and job opportunities.
This program helped me by finding a job and, of course, gaining more confidence as well. I was able to gain knowledge about the BPOs, on how does the environment work.
As of now, as I was the call center agent, so I see that difference because as of now I'm earning more than I have earned before as a tricycle driver.
TECH4ED empowers overseas Filipino workers to explore online jobs to support their family.
With the emergence of the TECH4ED centers here in the Philippines, we were the very first to have the TECH4ED centers here.
Bali, ang pinakamalaking impact po ng TECH4ED sa buhay ko ay yung time para sa aking family. Ngayon, ang time ko sa kanila is buong-buo na. Hindi na siya yung typical na 21 days in a year lang, na mas marami pa yung oras ko sa abroad na hindi kasama sila.
TECH4ED helps transform the lives of the marginalized sectors.
Siguro iisipin na lang nila parang training na din sa kanila, additional skills po sa kanila, so para paglabas po nila, magagamit din po nila sa pagbabagong buhay po nila.
Para sa akin, ang TECH4ED ay maiignay ko sa isang salitang pag-asa. Pag-asa para sa aking sarili, pag-asa na makapanibagong buhay, pag-asa na mabigyan ako ng pagkakataong mabago ang pananaw ko sa aking sarili, pag-asa upang makatagpo po ng trabaho, pag-asa na makapagbigay karunungan sa aking mga kapwa PDLs ko dito po.
DICT will uphold its mandates to develop plans and programs that ensure universal access to ICT services, infrastructure, and spearhead initiatives for countryside development. Through the TECH4ED project that strives to nurture the welfare of the people and to enable, empower, and transform the quality of life of the Filipinos. Technology is reshaping our lives. It dramatically changed the way we live, the way we learn, the way we work, and the way we communicate. Technology has tremendous potential to connect us with one another. But there are still people who remain unreached, disconnected, and deprived of digital opportunities. In 2017, only 67 million Filipinos are online. 41% of people in urban areas are connected, and only 22% in rural areas have access to ICT services. That is why the Department of Information and Communications Technology aims to narrow down the digital divide in the country through the Technology Empowerment for Education, Employment, Entrepreneurs, and Economic Development, or TECH4ED project. TECH4ED aims to establish centers that cater to areas with minimal or no access to ICT, providing them with services and contents on education, skills training, and various government services. These centers have access to the TECH4ED platform, offering content such as e-Edu Skills, delivers e-learning on demand. E-Assist provides modules for skills development. E-Marketplace allows greater market reach for businesses. E-GovServe provides direct government services to rural areas. E-Agri offers contents on agriculture technologies. E-Health gives access to basic health information. Rural Impact Sourcing provides learning materials to acquire knowledge and skills for online jobs. And Gender and Development offers modules for women empowerment. TECH4ED centers serve as hubs that enable skills training and job opportunities.
This program helped me by finding a job and, of course, gaining more confidence as well. I was able to gain knowledge about the BPOs, on how does the environment work.
As of now, as I was the call center agent, so I see that difference because as of now I'm earning more than I have earned before as a tricycle driver.
TECH4ED empowers overseas Filipino workers to explore online jobs to support their family.
With the emergence of the TECH4ED centers here in the Philippines, we were the very first to have the TECH4ED centers here.
Bali, ang pinakamalaking impact po ng TECH4ED sa buhay ko ay yung time para sa aking family. Ngayon, ang time ko sa kanila is buong-buo na. Hindi na siya yung typical na 21 days in a year lang, na mas marami pa yung oras ko sa abroad na hindi kasama sila.
TECH4ED helps transform the lives of the marginalized sectors.
Siguro iisipin na lang nila parang training na din sa kanila, additional skills po sa kanila, so para paglabas po nila magagamit din po nila sa pagbabagong buhay po nila.
Para sa akin, ang TECH4ED ay maiignay ko sa isang salitang pag-asa. Pag-asa para sa aking sarili, pag-asa na makapanibagong buhay, pag-asa na mabigyan ako ng pagkakataong mabago ang pananaw ko sa aking sarili, pag-asa upang makatagpo po ng trabaho, pag-asa na makapagbigay karunungan sa aking mga kapwa PDLs ko dito po.
DICT will uphold its mandates to develop plans and programs that ensure universal access to ICT services, infrastructure, and spearhead initiatives for countryside development. Through the TECH4ED project that strives to nurture the welfare of the people and to enable, empower, and transform the quality of life of the Filipinos.
Good morning, everyone. Before anything else, let us all offer a prayer for God to guide us during the webinar and for the rest of the day.
Dear God, thank you for the opportunity to meet together. Please help us to come together to make this institution reflect your kingdom. Breathe life into our ideas and decisions. Help us build a team that has love and respect at its heart. Give us the strength to continue working for your kingdom in this time of pandemic. Lord, come give us the inspiration to be the best we can be. May we be a shining example of your goodness and truth within, wherever we are. Inspire our thoughts, discussions, and ideas, and continue to remind us that all that we do here today, all that we accomplish, is for the pursuit of truth for the greater glory of you. We ask these things in your name. Amen.
Happy Friday, everyone who is here with us in Zoom and everyone who is listening and watching via our Facebook Live. Okay, so before we start, I wanted to give you our guidelines and reminders for today's webinar. Turn on only your microphone if you have questions or clarifications, or use the chat box. Turn on your camera during the entire training, or if you're not comfortable with that, we're okay also. Do not share your screen or do any annotations. Observe proper decorum and etiquette. Okay? So we wanted to thank you all for joining us today and giving us your time. Here with us today are the Tech4ED team who made this possible. Miss Rana, Ma'am Roma, Miss Riza, Sir Carlo, and our very own Technical Operations Division Chief, Mr. Petronilo, and of course, I am yours truly, Nina. To welcome us, I am very proud to introduce our DICT Luzon Cluster 2 Regional Director, Engineer Reynaldo TC.
Good morning, everyone. In the Department of Information and Communications Technology, Luzon Cluster 2, we wish to welcome all of you to today's webinar on Google applications as tools for online teaching. But first, let me thank our resource person, Mr. Arnie Armada, for accommodating our requests. It's nice to see na marami palang interested to join our webinar on Google applications as tools for online teaching. This webinar or training is very timely and useful, considering that most of the time we are online, especially our teachers. The pandemic has totally put everything in a different perspective, especially those living in the 𝒐𝒐𝒄 and 𝒐𝒄 areas. We need to stay at home as much as possible. Nabago on the way we do things. Bawal ang physical classes, even pag-visit sa mga relatives at discouraged. That's why puro online na lang ang pinag-uusapan. Online classes, online learning, online shopping, online payment, and the other online activities pa. That's the reason for today's webinar. We want to equip and familiarize everyone, especially our teachers, on the different Google applications that are available online that can be used as digital tools. We are sure that after this webinar, you will be equipped and learn the different Google applications that you could use as digital tools for your everyday online teaching. Again, good morning, everyone.
Ayun. Thank you very much, Sir Ray. So I hope everyone is ready now with the additional skills or knowledge that you will learn today, as I am about to introduce to you Mr. Arnie Armada. Okay, Mr. Armada had graduated in SDI College Olongapo with degree in Bachelor of Science in Computer Science as cum laude last 2006. Then, he is currently taking up Master of Science in Computer Science in President Ramon Magsaysay State University. In parallel of his study, He is a college instructor, BSCS Program and Research Coordinator, and Student Council Advisor in Gordon College since 2010. Along with his experience are his service awards, Outstanding Faculty Awardee, and Blackberry Jam Hackathon Manila winner. Mr. Armada is skilled in programming using Visual Basic.NET, C, C++, and Java languages. He is also qualified as a back-end developer using PHP or MVC framework and database management using MS SQL Server, MySQL, DB2, and SQLite. In addition, he is a certified Tesla Trainers Methodology WOD, Tesla Computer Systems and Hardware Servicing NC2, and IBM Cognos Certified BI Designer. He had attended several trainings or seminars, which includes Python Programming Essentials, Course POT, Java Programming Training, Regional Conference on Data Science, and many more. So I won't be holding it out any longer. Everyone, welcome to Google Applications as Tool for Online Teaching with Mr. Armada. Mr. Armada, good morning.
Good morning po. Good morning, ma'am. Thank you very much for that introduction. So, good morning po to all participants who are here in the room and who are watching po sa ating FB Live. So, first and foremost, I would like to thank DICT for this opportunity to share to you the topic about Google applications used for online teaching. So, I assume po lahat po tayo dito, almost all of us here in the room are educators, teachers, instructors, just like me. So, and I know that we are already aware with the different applications that are part of the Google workspace for education. So, thank you po for the DICT for this opportunity. And again po, I'm Mr. Arnie Armada. And sana po for the next 2 hours, I'll be able to share to you yung mga applications and tools that are part of Google Workspace. So let me just share my screen. Wait lang po. Okay, so we're going to talk about for this session about Google applications that we can use when we are delivering class online. So Google Workspace provides many features for educators like us to collaborate with our peers and for our students to, let's say, collaborate to a certain assignment or project that we as teachers assign to them. So Google has also provided us tools to communicate with our co-faculty or co-teachers, and of course to our students and to their classmates as well. So formerly, Google Workspace is, ang tawag po sa kanya is G Suite. So ngayon po, ang tawag po sa kanya ngayon ay Google Workspace for Education. So Google Workspace for Education is a suite of tools that can help us increase opportunities for critical thinking. So ito po yung isa, as teachers po, we all know that we have to develop critical thinking skills of our students. And because we're in the midst of the pandemic, we cannot, we are forced, no? We are forced to use online tools for us to still continue delivering education. And luckily for us, Google has provided us tools that we can assess and we could measure how our students understand a certain topic that we deliver during our class. So we could actually we could still conduct different strategies, online digital strategies, in order for our student to still, diba, perform different learning tasks using tools that are available to Google. Please bear with me po, no? If please call my attention if naglalag po ako kasi meron po nagpa-pop sa screen ko na my internet is unstable. So please call my attention if naglalag po ako para po maulit ko po uli at ma-clarify po uli yung sinabi ko. Thank you po. And of course, ito po, Google Workspace provide us tools for communication. Okay? So later we'll be discussing what are those tools that we can use. So Google Workspace also provide us, ito po yung isa sa pinaka-importanting feature ng Google Workspace. Kasi we need to make sure that yung collaboration po among our students nandun pa rin po kapag tayo ay nagtuturo. So may mga features po si Google Apps. Okay, mga Google Apps po na gagamitin natin na mayroon pong pagkakataon yung ating mga estudyante na makapag-collaborate sa isa pong, let's say, sa isang activity or sa isang project. And of course, we also as faculty. Kasi 'di ba, gumagawa din po tayo ng ating mga lesson plan, may mga co-teachers po tayo nagde-deliver ng same subjects. So although magkakaiba po tayo ng location, we're working from home or remotely, Google Workspace provide us ways on how to collaborate on a certain task that needs to be performed. And of course, creativity. Isa rin po yan sa skills na dinedevelop po natin sa ating mga estudyante. So may mga tools din po si Google Workspace para po ma-apply po yung creativity po ng ating mga estudyante. Kasi iba-iba po kasi yung skills ng estudyante natin, di ba? So meron din pong mga tools na pwede po magamit sa Google Workspace. So, paano po ba mag-avail ng Google Workspace for education? So, it is available globally to all educational institutions that qualify. So, to qualify for Google Workspace, you need to be, magbe-verify po kayo na kailangan po, nakalagay po kasi doon sa website ng Google Workspace na non-profit po dapat yung status ng ating institution. Okay? So you're going to submit to the website for Google Workspace for Education certain documents that would verify that your institution is a non-profit institution and you must be government, you must be recognized by concerned government agencies. So be a government recognized, formally accredited educational institution. So you could either be under DepEd or CHED. So these are the links that you could visit. So you could screenshot the link. It would bring you to the website of Google Workspace on how you could sign up or how can your institution be verified para po mag-avail po kayo ng Google Workspace for Education. So just like my school, Gordon College, so meron po kaming Google Workspace for Education. So this is free. Pino-provide po sa atin ng Google. Pero if you want to upgrade, meron pa po silang mga different upgrade options. Kaso nga lang po, meron na po yung bayad or certain may billing na po yan. So you could visit this link if you want to learn more about how can your institution be verified, or you could how to sign up doon po sa Google Workspace for Education. Google Workspace for Education po, lagay po natin yung for education. If you are going to search it using Google. Okay po. So ito na po. So the suite of free Google tools and services that are tailored for schools and homeschools. So these are the things that we're going to talk about for the next 2 hours. We're going to talk about the tools like Google Docs, Google Drive, Gmail, Google Forms, Google Sheets, and Google Slides. So I know that you are already, some of you here are already familiar with these tools, but we'll be discussing them again. And if we still have time, siguro po I'll be discussing also other tools that we could use sa ating mga klase. Especially pag mga elementary teachers po tayo na po, kasi kailangan po yung ating mga students, medyo dapat po may ginagawa po talaga. Sa amin po mga college instructors, iba naman po yung mga klase ng mga strategies sa mga learning tasks that we are going to assign to our students. Pero syempre, we're still going to use the tools that are available to us sa Google Workspace po. So yun po yung ating pag-uusapan. Ready na po ba kayo? Para may konti pong interaction. So you could share yung experiences po ninyo sa paggamit po ng Google apps sa inyo pong mga school, para po meron din pong ma-share po natin sa ating mga co-participants. Okay po, sana po after this talk, mission accomplished po tayo sa mga tools na to. Okay po. So let's start. So let's start with the first tool, yung Google Drive. So mamaya po yung gagawin po natin for the discussion ng tools after nitong discussion natin ng isang tool, punta tayo dun sa actual na Google Drive para ma-refresh po tayo paano ginagamit. So Google Drive po, it is a cloud-based storage solution that allows you to save files online and access them anywhere from any smartphone, tablet, or computer. So if you're an Android user, so automatic po, di ba, pag sa mobile phone po natin, kapag tayo ay Android user, automatic po may naka-install na po ng mga Google apps or Google services dun po sa ating mobile phone. And using your account sa Google, you could actually access files that are stored in your Google Drive. So yan po yung yung Google Drive po talaga yung isa sa pinaka-importanting app na dapat po nating alam na gamitin. Kasi po yan cross-platform po si Google So you could access it dito po sa desktop natin or sa laptop, sa smartphone or our tablet. So it makes it easy for others to edit and collaborate on files. Totoo po yan. So you can use your drive, Google Drive on your computer or mobile device to securely upload files and edit them online. So actually, you could install a desktop version of Google Drive. Hindi na po kayo mag-open pa ng browser. Install na lang po siya. Magpo-prompt naman po yon sa notification po ninyo sa Google Drive. Kapag open nyo po siya online, so you have an option to install it. Para drag and drop na lang po kayo. At automatic it will be saved dun po sa ating Google Drive. So yan po yung cloud, no? Yan po yung term ngayon cloud. So pag sinabing cloud, basically it means the internet. So your files, yung mga grade sheets po ninyo, yung mga lecture slides po ninyo, yung mga video lectures po ninyo, nasa cloud po. Ang ibig sabihin nun, nasa internet po yon. And then kapag gagamitin nyo po siya, what you need to do is you'll just have to download it from any device that you're using as long as meron po kayong internet connection. Kapag kailangan nyo po ng update. Pero kahit offline po yan, as long as may Google Drive po kayo sa device at download nyo po siya, doon sa device, ma-access nyo po siya at ma-open nyo po siya. Diba? Para safe po. Para maiwasan na natin yung mga typical na mga ano natin, yung sitwasyon na na-corrupt yung ano ko, na-corrupt yung USB ko. Na-corrupt po yung laptop ko, ma'am, nasira, hindi ko na ma-access. Ay nako. For us teachers, isang malaking ano po yan, di ba? Isang malaking hassle po. So, para mas safe po yung ating mga files, lagay po natin sila sa cloud. And one tool that we could use is Google Drive. Kung free users po kayo, 15 GB po, if I'm not mistaken, 15 gig po yung storage capacity kapag po free user po tayo. Yung meron po tayong account sa Gmail. So, malaking ano na po yun, no? Malaking storage na po yun para po malagay po natin yung ating mga important files. Especially po pag teacher po tayo. Pag teacher po, expected po na lalagpas po yan ng 1 gig, 2 gig, 10 gig. Kasi buong subjects niya, lahat ng subjects niya, lahat ng slides niya, lahat ng grade sheets niya, nandun po lahat. Okay po. Yan. So, Google Drive also gives you access to free web-based applications for creating documents, spreadsheets, presentations, and more. So actually, doon po tayo magsisimula sa Google Drive. Tapos para makapag-create po tayo ng iba pang mga apps or gagamit po ng ibang mga Google apps, doon po tayo gagawa. At lahat po ng mga Google Forms natin ginawa for our assessment, lahat po ng mga documents na ginawa natin using Google Docs, lahat po ng mga spreadsheets that we use, sa Google Drive po lahat masisave. Okay? So what are the key features of Google Drive? So first and foremost, of course, Google Drive is used for storing files. So for free, ito po yung sinabi ko kanina, you will be given 15 GB of free storage space. Okay? Pero kung ano po kayo, kung ang school po ninyo ay merong nakasubscribe po sa Google Workspace for Education, yung pinaka-basic po yung tawag po nila is Fundamentals, Google Workspace Fundamentals. Yung buong institution po ninyo, kung di po ako nagkakamali, will be given 100 terabyte of space. Sa lahat na po yun ng mga users. So medyo malaki. Pero individually, kapag po ay free user po tayo, 15 GB po yung ating storage space. And isa po ito. Isa sa most important feature ng Google Drive is you could actually share your files to others. Okay? So by default, naka-private po yan sa inyo lang. Pero kapag share nyo po yan sa iba, okay? Yung mga in-invite nyo pong mga user can view or edit or download files and documents from that file, no? Or from the, let's say, shared drive that you created. Okay? So maganda po yan sa mga estudyante po natin na gusto nyo i-upload sa Google Drive nyo yung kanilang mga, let's say, proposals, o kaya yung kanilang mga video presentation, o di naman po kaya yung kanilang mga slides na ginawa for their presentation eventually sa class. Kasi yun po yung ginagawa ko eh. Okay po. So, ito rin po yung isang feature. You could access your files from anywhere. Okay po, as long as meron pong Google Drive na naka-install dun sa device. Files can be accessed from any smartphone, tablet, or computer. Yan. So, meron po tayo. It's good to learn those apps. Thank you po, Sir Chris. And then, comprehensive search. Okay. So, Google Drive can recognize images and even text and scan documents, making searching for files even easier. So, dahil Google po kasi is a big tech company, so alam po natin na meron po silang mga high-tech, no? Mga latest na mga, tawag po nila is algorithm, no? Like, tingnan niyo po yung feature niya. So, yung mga text daw po na galing sa mga scanned documents, they could search that. So that's a very nice feature to have. And of course, iba-iba pong files, no? You could actually upload different formats, no? File formats. You could upload videos, you could upload images, you could upload slide presentations. You made it from, let's say, Microsoft Suite naman po. So that can also be recognized. You could actually open those files in Google Drive. Okay po. So, Gmail. So, ano ko lang po ito. Simulan po natin dito sa Google Drive. Nakikita niyo po yung screen ko?
Yes po, Sir Arnie. Kita-kita po.
Thank you, ma'am. So, ito po yung Google Drive natin, no? So, gumawa po ako ng bago. Kasi baka makita nyo na So, ito po yung Google Drive natin. So, this is part of the Google Workspace po ng Gordon College. Ayan po. So, ang isa pong nga po pala sa Google, pag gusto nyo po yung school nyo maging member ng Google Workspace for Education, dapat po meron po kayong domain name po. Ito po yung dapat po may .edu.ph po yung domain po natin. Isa po yan sa mga requirement po ng Google for us to be given a free yung Google Workspace fundamentals po. Para po ma-enjoy natin yung libre na features niya. Marami po kasing features yung Workspace, yung fundamentals, yung libreng version niya. Like yung sinabi ko nga po kanina, yung 100 terabyte. Tapos yung iba po mga Google Apps po natin, may mga features po na available na hindi po available dun sa mga free users. So anyway, ito po yung Google Drive natin. So lahat po ng mga files, lahat po ng mga documents na ginawa po natin using Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides, Google Forms will be stored inside our Google Drive. Okay po. So if you want to create a folder, so mag-create lang po tayo ng folder dyan. Tapos, ito po, gumawa na po ako ng DICT kung saan nandito po yung aking presentation. Okay po. Yung ginagamit ko po ngayon. Tapos, yan po yung isang feature niya. Tapos, next feature is yung you could actually share it to your students. Sorry. Right-click nyo lang po siya or yan, share po ninyo. Or meron po siyang dito po sa taas, share DICT. So you could actually share it with your students or share it to your co-faculty or co-teachers. Okay? Tapos, kapag share nyo po yan, we have options kung ano po yung mga permissions that you could give to a certain, let's say, a student, kung ano lang po yung kanyang access. Pwedeng viewer lang po siya. So pag sinabing viewer, pwede lamang po siyang parang read only. Then mag-download. Pero kung editor po, yan, pwede niya pong i-edit, mag-add po siya ng bagong files or i-edit po yung mga files that are inside the folder. Okay po. Tapos, meron naman po, wala pa po kasi kakagawa lang po kasi ng account. Pero you could actually, ito pong isa, ito yung sa isa pang you could actually create a shared drive para diretso na po siya. Click nyo lang po yung new. So, ayan. So, mag-create lang po kayo ng shared drive dyan. Pangalan ng shared drive po natin. And then, you could actually share it to your co-faculty or to your students. Alam ko yung ginagawa po sa Google Drive is, bawa ngayon, may pa-contest po kayo. Halimbawa, nag-organize po kayo ng isang competition. Let's say short film. Di ba pag short film, sobrang laki po ng file nun. Di po ba? So ang sasabihin nyo na lang po doon sa mga competitor ninyo, yung mga sasali doon sa competition nyo for short film competition is you share to us the Google Drive where we could actually download your entry. Ganun po yung usapan ngayon eh. Di po ba? Nagawa po kayo ng ganun. So Google Drive lang po yung hindi mo na kailangan i-download pa, di ba? Para ma-view yung entry nila. So ipakita lang nila yung shared drive po kung saan naka-store yung short film entry po nila. Kung programming naman po yan, say computer programming, so doon mo i-share na lang po nila yung Google Drive kung saan nandun po yung kanilang solutions. Then meron kasamang video presentation, parang mag-representa lang po sila. So yun po yung power, yun po yung mga key features ng Google Drive. Tapos you could access it anywhere. So kung yung phone po ninyo, yung smartphone po ninyo, or yung Android tablet po ninyo, merong Google Drive po doon, you could actually sign up or sign in using that device and then isi-sync po niya kung anong laman nung nasa Google Drive po natin. So yun po yung sinasabi natin na we could access it anywhere. Okay po. Tapos meron po tayong diyan para naman makita natin yung yung mga files natin. So meron tayo dito, grid view tsaka list view. So yung grid view, yung ganyan, hindi po natin makita, no? So try ko po itong isa, yung sa Google Drive ko na isa. So ayan, no? So naka-list view po siya. Kasi pag naka-list view po siya, makita nyo po yung last modified, tapos kung sino po yung owner, tapos kung gaano po yung size. Ito po yung mga video lectures po natin, no? Pwede po natin i-share yan sa mga estudyante po natin. Yan. Tapos yung grid view naman po, yan. So useful po yan kapag merong images naman po yung ating mga files para madali po natin siyang makita. Okay? Yan. Okay po. Yan. So para madali lang pong makita yung ating mga yan, yung ating mga files na naka-store. Then you could also do color codes. Ayan. So right-click nyo lang po yung isang folder and then you could actually change the color of your choice. Para isa rin po siya sa visually. Madali nyo pong mahanap yung mga files na naka-store doon sa ating Google Drive. Okay po? Yan. Then you could put star or yung yung mga gusto nyo pong lagyan ng Tapos meron din po tayong priority dito. Yan. So yung priority po natin, lang po. Yan. You could actually create a workspace kung saan dito nyo po ilalagay yung mga files natin na pinakagamit. Kasi di ba kapag yung ating pong Google Drive has so many files na po, so medyo mahirap na po maghanap kasi madami na po siya. So you could actually create your own personal workspace. And this will save time, sabi niya, by adding your most used files to a convenient workspace without removing them from their original location. So create lang po kayo ng workspace. So let's say DICT, create. Then i-add nyo po dito yung mga files po ninyo. Hanggang 20. Ayan, 5 files. And then add selected files. So regardless kung saan sila naka-store doon sa ating Google Drive, they will be stored here in the workspace. Para po easy accessible, ma-access po natin siya. So you could actually create workspaces for different activities. 'Di ba kada semester po, no? bago tayong mga subjects. So, ng workspace for this sem, and then kapag second semester na, another workspace. So, para organize po yung ano natin. Or para madali po ma-access yung mga files po na nakastore sa ating Google Drive. Okay po. Ano pa po? Yan. So, ito po yung ating mga shared drives. Yan. So, you could actually pwede nyo pong lagyan ng theme yung inyong mga shared drives, no? Kapag nag-create ka ng shared drive dyan na DICT, let's say. So, ayan. So, you could actually manage the members. Click nyo lang po yung manage members. Sino po yung mga kasama po dun sa shared drive po natin? Halimbawa, sa mga estudyante po natin, gagawa po kayo ng, let's say, meron po silang project proposal. So lahat po ng mga files na gagamitin po nila or na i-create po nila based on the requirements of the subject, dito po nila ilalagay. So ilalagay po natin yung mga email addresses ng ating mga estudyante. So gusto ko lang di pa i-emphasize na napakahalaga po na sabihin po natin sa ating mga estudyante na yung email address po, isang mahalagang tool that they need to remember. Kasi yan po yung gagamitin natin para ma-access po natin yung mga resources po natin, yung mga slides natin sa ating klase. So, ako po may listahan po ako ng mga email addresses ng mga estudyante. So, papaste ko na lang po dito sa manage members yung mga kasama doon sa isang group. And then, kailangan po, yung mga files na kailangan na lang i-present, dapat nandito na po siya. Para pag magpe-present na po sila, isa rin pong advantage ito kasi yung iba po kasi talagang walang connection. Sabihin nila, "Sir, sorry po sir, wala po kaming load. Sir, wala po kaming internet. Sir, wala po kaming power sa area po namin. So, di po ako makakapag-present." So, one way for us mabigyan ng solution yun is ilagay na natin dito sa shared drive yung mga files ng mga estudyante natin. Okay po. Saka they could collaborate eh. They could actually, kung grupo yan, kung grupo yung mga estudyante natin, yung isang estudyante mag-a-add ng gantong file, yung isa, ito naman, yung isa gantong file. Di po ba? So, kung may mangyari man na technical difficulty on the part of one member, they could still proceed dun sa, let's say, sa presentation kasi pre-recorded po yun, di ba? So, diba? So yun yung isang benefit po na pwede natin gawin kapag ganito po yung setup natin. So ito po yung manage members. So yung gumawa po ng shared drive, siya po yung manager. Pero may mga viewer din po, commenter, contributor, content manager na pwede mong bigyan ng yung mga access rights ng mga members po natin. Pero syempre kung group work naman po yan, so content manager po yung bigay po natin sa mga estudyante natin. Para kahit paano may independent din naman po sila. They could tawag po dito, meron silang control dun sa folder po nila. They could actually update the content and then di po ba before the submission date na sinet po natin. Yan. So yan lang po. Ano pa bang mga ito yung change theme kung gusto niyo palitan po yung yung itsura niya. Yung picture. So pwede po kayo mamili sa mga predefined na mga themes that are available sa Google. Yan, so ba ito electronics. Select. Yan, so makikita niyo po ito. Sa shared drives na po siya. Ayun na po yung itsura niya, DICT. Yan. Okay po. Let's move on na po sa next Ano pa po ba sa shared drives natin? Ito po isa. So yan, marami pa po yung ano. Wow, good morning from Pakistan. Thank you, sir. So ito po yung pwede po natin pag nag-delete po tayo ng files, when we delete files from our drive, we have 30 days to retrieve or to restore the deleted files dun po sa trash natin para ma-recover. Then after 30 days, that will be deleted forever. So yun lang po yung isa sa ano we need to consider kapag magdi-delete po tayo. Kasi ayaw naman, kaya nagdi-delete tayo kasi baka mapuno na po. Or our storage is nearing, di ba? Its maximum capacity. So nakita niyo po yung storage ko, 58.39 gigabyte. So lagpas na po doon sa 15 gigabyte for free users, no? Kasi ito po yung sa naka-Google Workspace for Education po tayo, fundamentals. So that's one advantage. Yung we're given larger storage capacity for our files. Okay? So okay na pa tayo sa My Drive natin. So let's go back to our Gmail. So the next tool that we will be talking about is Google Mail or Gmail. So for this topic, we'll be discussing tips and tricks when it comes to managing our Gmail. No? So the first feature is the Smart Compose. So Gmail Smart Compose feature finishes your sentences for you. So by pressing the tab key, the suggestion will automatically populate the email. So there's a feature called Smart Compose. So kapag nasa email ka, ito po. So for you to know if the Smart Compose is activated, so you go to the settings and then see all settings. Okay. And then you go to this one. Meron pong there is a setting for Smart Compose and it says predictive writing suggestions appear as you compose an email. So it is nakatagal po siya, nakatagal on. And then you have the option to turn it off. So dahil nakaano na po siya, pag nag-compose po kayo ng email, so lakihan po natin siya, ganyan. So pwede mong sabihin dyan na, di ba po pag, wala po yata lumalabas. And pag nagko-compose ko po ng email, di ba may mga lumalabas sa suggestion, I would like to, ano ba yung mga common na mga ano? Respect yours, mga ganun. Yan. So may mga lalabas po dyan minsan, kasi bago lang po ito eh. So may mga suggestion po siya na yung mga typical na mga parts ng letter po natin. So kapag acceptable on your part, you'll just have to press the tab key and then automatic po it will appear dun po sa ating dun sa email po as part of the message. So that's Smart Compose. And then ito nakita nyo pong signature, pwede nyo rin pong magawa yan sa settings, no? Discard na lang po natin to. If you want to put your signature here, so dito po sa settings, in the settings section, there is an option there to append your signature to all outgoing messages. So like this po. So I have affixed my signature. So the first thing that you need to do is you're going to create a new signature here. So this is what we call signature name, and then you'll be typing in the name of the signature that you want. And then on this part, this is where you'll be putting in the part of the signature that will be included dun po sa signature po natin. So in this case, nilagay ko po yung pangalan ko, yung designation ko po, tapos yung pangalan po ng school ko. And then you have an option to insert an image, yung mismong digital, yung e-signature po natin. So sinet ko rin po sa small para po doon magkasya. Kasi pag medium po yan, medyo lalaki po yan. Okay po, kayo rin po yung mag-size. Depende po sa size. It depends on the size of the photo that you'll be uploading. So malaki po yan eh. So small na lang po para ganyan. Okay po. Para to all outgoing messages, meron na po siyang kasamang ano. Pag nag-compose ka, will automatically have this signature appended at the end of your email address. At the end of your email, I'm sorry. So, ganyan po. So next is saan yung presentation? Next is you could actually schedule an email, no? So scheduling an email in charge in announcing in big event next week but heading on vacation with no Wi-Fi. So Gmail scheduling feature, you could decide when exactly an email gets sent. Okay po. So halimbawa, meron po kayong quiz. Ako po kasi, personally po, sa ano po ako, sa email po talaga nagsisend ng notification whenever I will be having synchronous classes or I will be having yung ano po, yung scheduled exams. So I make sure po na-email po sa kanila. Pero hindi ko po sa email ginagawa po 'yun, pero sa calendar. So later po, I'll be sharing to you yung calendar po. Maganda rin po yung tool, no? Pero excuse me po. Na-emphasize ko po sa aking mga estudyante, it's important to make sure na yung email po nila ng mga estudyante natin ay nabibisita po nila. Kasi po may experience po ako, and siguro po kayo din merong experience na sasabihin ng estudyante sa atin na sir, hindi ko po alam sir kasi may exam po pala. Sabi niya ganyan. Kaya bago po tayo mag-start ng klase natin, dapat inorient po natin yung mga estudyante natin na lahat po ng mga activities natin, lahat ng mga special events natin, may email po yan sa inyo. So you have to make sure to regularly check your email para po inform po kayo. Kasi nowadays, especially naka-online po tayo, importante po yung role ng email natin. Okay? So paano po mag-schedule ng email? Kapag nag-compose po tayo ng email po, pag isi-send na po natin siya, ano po tayong schedule send po dito. Oops, wala akong recipient. Ito na lang. Ayan po. So you could actually schedule an email kung kailan po natin siya gustong i-send. Para hindi po siya kaagad ano. Kasi minsan di ho ba busy po tayo. Marami po tayong gagawin for other classes that we have. Kaya gawin na po natin ngayon, and then i-schedule na lang po natin kung kailan matatanggap ng ating mga estudyante yung email. Okay po. So, we could use this schedule send. So, you could actually pick a date. Lalabas po yung date picker natin or option for us to specify the actual date when we want our email to be sent to the recipients that we listed dun po sa to section ng ating email. Okay po? Ito po. Yung CC tsaka BCC, Sir Maxil, this is sa ano po kasi, ang ibig po sabihin to, if I'm not mistaken, is carbon copy. Ibig po sabihin, there will be other recipients na makakatanggap nung ano po natin. Ang tawag po dito, nung email po natin. Tapos visible po siya dun sa iba pong mga recipients. Makita po nung mga ibang recipients, sinend mo rin itong email na to. You sent this email also to other recipients. Yan po yung CC. Pag BCC po, if I'm not mistaken, blind copy po ito, blind carbon copy. Ibig po sabihin ng blind carbon copy, they will not see who are the other recipients of this email message. Okay po. So it all depends on the confidentiality of the nature, yun. It all depends on the nature of the email message on when will you use the CC and the BCC. Ganun po. So delete ko na itong draft. Yeah. Okay po. So next tip is yung shortcuts. So, marami pong shortcuts si email, Gmail. So, balikan po natin yung ating na-close pa yata. Ito pala. So, naka-off po siya. Yung keyboard shortcuts. Nasa general pa rin po tayo na po. Nasa general siya. 10 o'clock. Bilisan natin. So, pag in-on po natin yan, so, meron po kayong, you could click the learn more link here where you'll be directed to this web page where it will list down all the shortcuts that you could use. So, halimbawa, ito po. You want to send, so you could press Control Enter. Okay po. Then may mga actions po tayo dyan. Ito. So medyo madami po siya, so we'll not be covering that. Pero ito po yung, if you click on the learn more link here in the keyboard shortcuts, you will be directed to this page where it will list down all the shortcuts that you could use sa applications po. Ayan, sa Compose, open keyboard shortcut help. Ano yun? The question mark. Kita nyo po? So, ito po yung parang shortcut key. Prines ko po yung shift, tapos kasi yung question mark po nasa shift nung keyboard natin. So shift and question mark. You'll see a list of all the shortcuts that are available sa Gmail. Kasi especially if you're doing lots of paperwork, you're dealing with so many emails, di ba? So it's good to know that Gmail supports keyboard shortcuts. Diba? Kahit makasave tayo ng ilang seconds. Okay po. Next is unsend an email. So may settings din po siya na ano ba yan? Ito po, undo send. So you could actually undo kapag nag-send po tayo ng email. So you could set it at a maximum 30 seconds. So kapag na-send na po, you have by default, you have 5 seconds to unsend it. Pero if you could change it to 30 seconds. Kapag, di ba we have instances where we want to unsend an email message that we sent to a certain recipient. So you could set it here in the settings as well. And then, email will self-destruct. So like the Snapchat of, alam natin, if you're aware of Snapchat, so an email will with self-destruct. These are messages that would stay in the recipient's inbox for as long as you want. And then this email cannot be forwarded, copied, pasted, downloaded, or printed, and you can even revoke access from your own account before time's up or time is up. So on the settings page, kapag ano po kayo dyan, meron pong clock, ito po sa baba. Taas po natin. So we have this one. Ito yung confidential mode. Ito yung meron po siyang expiry date. We could actually set the expiry date of our email message. And then we could actually ask Google to send you an SMS passcode if you want. So recipients won't have the option to forward, copy, print, or download this email. And this will be, when this message expired, it will automatically be deleted. Or if you're a Vault user, that is where that confidential image will or message will be sent. So pwede po tayong maglagay ng, we could actually set an expiration onto all our email messages. Yes po. We'll be providing a soft copy of our presentation. Thank you po. So let's go back. Bilisan po natin kasi we have I'm sorry po. And then you could snooze your email po if you want to need a break from your inbox, and emails will reappear at your chosen time. So kapag nasa email po kayo, there's an option there na ito pong snooze natin, ayan, no? Bawa dun sa Gmail team na recipient mo, if you want to snooze, yan, you could set it. Kung ayaw nyo makatanggap ng isang email message from one particular email account, then you could snooze that message. Ayan. So, siguro sa mga faculty lang po ito, no? Huwag natin turo sa mga estudyante natin, mga ma'am, mga sir. Okay po. And then, tabs, no? So, yung tabs natin, Gmail tabs update is like a free personal organizer dividing your inbox between multiple different tabs. So, we could actually go to the settings page. And then, punta po kayo dun sa inbox po natin. So by default po yung primary lang po yung naka-check din. Pero you could actually check this, yung mga tabs natin. So automatically Google will filter all your messages and then it will be put into certain tabs that are under that category, like social, promotions, updates, and forums. But all the other emails will be sent to your primary inbox. Okay? So you could actually check that, and then kapag pumunta po kayo dun sa inbox nyo, you'll be having different tabs for you to manage your emails. Especially po ngayon, no, marami pong mga promotions na nanggagaling po dun sa mga sinalihan po natin ng mga promos, yung binigay po natin yung ating email address. Okay po? So you could do that as well, or you could do labels. So ayan po. Pwede nyo pong, may option po kayo to hide or to show a certain system label, yung inbox, yung start, yung snooze, important, schedule, drafts, all of this, you have the option to show it or to hide it onto the interface ng Gmail. And of course, you could create your own label. Like this one, I've created a DICT label. So if whenever I receive an email from DICT, I could actually label that email message na under dun sa label that I created. So you could easily do that. Just click on the email, and then meron po dito na labels, and then you could actually select kung saan po siya pupunta, and then click apply. Okay po. Then if we click on the DICT label here, all the messages that we labeled under DICT will be there. So that's one way for us to manage our messages or our emails dun sa inbox po natin. So we could also teach this to our students, especially if our students do has lots of classes that they attend, no? So we need to teach them that managing our email is one important task, because ano po yun, di pa ba? Performance po yun, di ba? Outcome po yun eh. Be organized, di po ba? So we could actually include that as a criteria when we are doing assessment to our students. Manage your emails. That's an idea, di ba? But we could actually implement in our class. Okay po. Oh, ano yun? I'm not strict. Ano yung chat ni ma'am? Ma'am Angeli, I'll get back to you. I'll get back to you to your question. Thank you po. So let's go back. 10-11 na po. So yan po yung ilan sa mga some of the tips and tricks that we could do our Gmail account. So sana po may nakuha po kayo doon. So the next tool that we will be discussing is Google Docs. So this is the Microsoft Word version of Google, no? Although you could actually open a Microsoft Word document in Google Docs. So Google Docs is a very powerful real-time collaboration and document authoring tool. So multiple users can edit a document at the same time while seeing each other's changes instantaneously. Ito napakaganda po, especially kapag college students po yung ating tinuturuan, gumagawa po sila ng kanilang proposal. Maganda po itong feature na to para may collaboration sila. So, next slide po. So, the key features of Google Docs, one is it's open source. Next is it establishes better work efficiency and easier collaboration among us, teachers or educators, and among our students. Options of restricting other access to documents. So, you could actually share it to our students with differing levels of access. Yung iba, viewer lang, yung iba, editor. And then it allows you to email your work like a document. Kasi po, magkakapatid po kasi mga Google Apps yan. So you could actually use one feature to yung email po dun sa Google Docs. And ito po yung isang importante din, ability to import documents from MS Office and OpenOffice. Malaking tulong sa atin yan. So, Google Docs po, we start from our drive, and then click lang po natin yung Google Docs. Then we'll have an option if you want to create Google Docs from a blank document or from a template. So, kapag from a template po yung ating gagawin, so, ito po yung mga ituro na po natin sa ating mga estudyante na there are available templates that they could use depending on the project or depending on the activity that they are doing. So kapag term papers po yan, or pag essay po yan, ayan. Ito po yung mga, some of the options that they could actually use as a template. Or they could actually create it from a blank. So ito po, essay. Ito yung letters. Kapag meron po tayong activity that they will need to write a letter. So they have templates that are available already. Resumes or CVs, personal, homework. So Google Docs has lots of templates that users could use depending on the work that they need to do. Okay? Okay po. Or you could create a blank document. So this is what Google Docs look like. So para po siyang Microsoft Word. It has the same functionality as Microsoft Word. You could actually change your text. You could actually change the font size. You could actually change the color, the alignment, the spacing. If you want to insert bullets, numbered bullets, if you want to print it, okay po. If you want to copy a format. So basically all the features that you could find in Microsoft Word or any other word processing application, there is a corresponding feature here in Google Docs. If you want to save your document, just click on the untitled document here at the top left portion of the screen. You could actually change the title. Okay po. And then isa pa sa for us to extend the functionality of our Google Docs, we could actually get add-ons from Google Workspace Marketplace. So these are the different, ang tawag po natin dito is add-ons. So you could actually extend a functionality of our Google Docs dun po sa each document that you were working on. So you could, if you want to create diagrams, you could use Lucidchart add-on. But of course, some of these add-ons are not for free. Okay po. Some of them are free, so you could explore kung ano po yung applicable to you first and foremost, and kung free po ba siya or trial version lang po. So kung gagawa ka ng chart, so you could actually click, let's say Lucidchart, and then you could install it. So you'll just have to click the install. Pag click nyo po yung install, you will be asked to approve all these access na you'll be giving to Lucidchart dun po sa Google account po ninyo. So you have to review first the permissions that you'll be giving to Lucidchart to your account before you could actually install it. Then isa pang, di ba, pag namimili po tayo ng apps na i-install sa ating mga devices, tinitignan po natin yung review, di ba? Kahit sa Lazada or kahit sa Shopee. So dito meron din po siyang reviews that we could actually see para makita nyo kung talagang reliable or credible po ba talaga itong ating i-download or i-install na add-on. So ito yung review. Ayan. So basahin nyo po yung review natin. Mababasa nyo yung mga reviews or feedback sa mga naggamit na po na nitong add-ons natin. Ito, sorry po. May nakita ko po pwedeng magamit. Ito po yung EasyBib. Especially po pag gagawa po tayo ng ating thesis proposal. Kailangan po may citation po, di ba? So ito, madali po natin ma-cite yung source. Especially po, isa rin pong tool ni Google Apps is Google Scholar. Pag magke-create po tayo ng ating mga, kakagamit ko lang po nito no? Nung Google Scholar, diyan po tayo naghahanap nung mga, dagdag ko na po kasi for online teaching po itong ating class. Napakalaking tulong nito pong Google Scholar natin. Ayan, no? So you could actually search related documents, related articles or journals. Tapos ang kagandahan po nito, meron po sa baba, ito po, yung site, automatically, it will give you different citation based on the format na ginagamit ko po. So merong MLA, APA, Chicago, Harvard, tsaka Vancouver. Ayan, APA po yung ginagamit kadalasan sa atin. So ipipaste na lang po natin yan doon sa ating Google Docs. Okay po. You could actually open this document, tapos may citation na siya. Tapos may cited by, oh. Kung naghahanap pa po kayo ng ibang yung mga related na mga studies or literature. So you could actually see yung mga sino nag-cite nung document na yon. Kasi malamang related siya dun sa topic na ginagawan po natin ng research, halimbawa. So Google Scholars, add-on po ito dun sa discussion natin kasi I believe this is very useful for all of us, especially educators po tayo. And research is di po ba isang mahalagang aspeto ng ating buhay? Kailangan po we need to do research. So Google Scholar is another tool that we could use in kasabay in conjunction with yung ano po natin, yung Google Docs natin. Kakapin na lang natin yung citation doon. Yan. Isang napakalaking tulong po sa atin yan. Okay po. So go back na po tayo dun sa ating Google. So ito po. So you could actually use, may mga tools din po naman, 𝒐𝒏𝒊𝒏𝒆. Ayan. So you could install dun po sa add-ons natin when we are using Google Docs. So I forgot to mention, guys, sirs, ma'ams, na these Google apps, no, Google tools that we are discussing works best using Google Chrome. Okay po? Google Chrome po is one tool again that we could use. Kasi sa Google Chrome po, like you're seeing right now, I'm using Google Chrome. Pwede po kasi integrated na po yun eh. Pwede kang mag-install din po ng mga extensions din ito. Nag-install po ako ng MyBib. Hindi po dun as add-on dun sa aking Google Docs, pero as add-in dun sa Google Chrome extension ko po. So automatic siya, nag-generate po siya. Nag-generate po siya ng citation. Okay po. So halimbawa, may mga ano na ako dito. Mobile application development. So pag clinic ko po itong MyBib citation generator ko, so automatically, it will generate a citation nung pong website natin. Kung mali naman po yung kanyang citation, you could actually edit it. Click on the edit and then you could actually set yung author name, yung last name, yung title of the web page, yung website, date it was published, and then etc. So halimbawa, ginawa siya ni dahil Amazon to, ni Jeff Bezos. So yan, in-update po natin. Halimbawa, update. So automatically, tinan nyo po, Bezos J 2021. So pwede nyo, you could actually change the style. So naka APA 7 po yung aking style na ginagamit. So click on nyo lang, click on the copy, and then diretso nyo po dito, paste. Ayun na po siya. Doon sa Google Docs. Okay po. So ito po yung pag mga college students po yung ating mga students, tsaka mga high school, yung gumagawa ng mga term paper, especially kapag meron po silang practical research, if you're doing student investigatory projects or an experiment. Pero pag mga elementary po, hindi po muna, no? Kasi Or yeah, kapag mga grades, pag medyo ano na, higher. Pero pag mga grade 1, grade 2, ano po muna, ibang tools po muna yung gagamitin natin para sa kanila. Yung Google Slide po, no? So yan po yung ano, yung Google Docs na pwede po nung magamit natin. Next is Google Sheets. Ayan. So yung Google Sheets po, opo, yung yes, Ma'am Greta, we could actually collaborate. Ito lang po, share lang po natin sa kanya. Ayan, lalagyan lang po natin siya ng document and then i-share lang po natin dun sa screen. Ganon din po kapag gagamit tayo ng Google Sheets, Google Slides, you could share that document and then collaborate po sila. They could actually write something on the document para ano po sila. Marami pong mga users yung nagke-create or nagsusulat dun sa document. That's particularly useful if you're doing proposals, thesis writing, term papers, essay. So yan po yung sa Google Docs. Click on the share lang po. Yan. Share nyo lang po. Pero i-name nyo lang po muna. Okay? Tapos i-share nyo po sa mga email address po natin. Next po, no? Kasi 10:30 na. So, Google Sheets po, ayan. So, this is para po siyang Microsoft Excel. So, it is a cloud-based spreadsheet tool. So, think of Microsoft Excel with fewer limits. It allows teachers to create useful spreadsheets for planning, class, for marking, for student editing, resource organization, activity reviews, quizzes, and lots more. Okay po? So, you could actually create also close ko na po ito. You could actually create a Google Sheet from a template as well, just like Google Docs. So doon po sa general po, meron po tayong different templates that we could use. So depending on the activity or depending on the work that needs to be done. So meron po tayong for education, for personal. You could actually create a calendar for work-related documents. Meron pong ano dyan, meron pong mga available templates, and for project management. So kapag project management po, most likely we'll be dealing with Gantt charts, timelines, and lots of tables and computations. Okay po. So you could actually install also add-ons. So kapag nag-create po tayo ng Google Sheet from yung blank natin, so meron tayong add-ons also. So yung mga add-ons that are available na sa ating marketplace would depend on the Google app that we're using. So there are different add-ons that are for Google Docs, add-ons for spreadsheets, for slides, but there are other add-ons that you could actually apply to Docs, slides, spread, and sheets, no? Yung tatlo po, pwede nyo siya magamit. Sana. So ito po. So these are the different add-ons that you could explore, that you could install dito po sa spreadsheet po natin. Ito po. Yan. Ito po, insert a link. Sino po yun ang tanong? Si Ma'am Erivel. Insert a link lang po. Ito po, Ma'am. Insert link. Sa isang website. You could actually paste it here. That is also applicable to Google Docs, Google Slides. You could actually insert a link. Ganun po. So in Google Sheets, you could actually build a grade book. So kapag Lahat po ng ating mga class record po, no, is naka-Excel po siya. Kaya familiar po tayo with what a gradebook is. And ito po, especially kapag meron po tayong assessment, we could actually create rubrics. Yung rubrics po natin, we could actually create it using a spreadsheet as well. So you could actually use autocolors sa Excel or sa Google Sheet, I'm sorry, para mas when it comes to readable, yon, mas maging readable tsaka mas madaling maintindihan po, especially from ng ibang mga tao na magbabasa ng gradebook po ninyo. Tapos you could use templates just like what we saw earlier. So ayan. So templates. Meron na dito na AutoCAD. Isang example ng AutoCAD, ayan, no. One example of an add-on sa Google Sheet is AutoCAD. So if still have time later po, we'll be i-ano natin to. Paganahin natin. Yung AutoCAD po yung yung kapag nag-organize ka ng isang webinar, tapos may attendance, di po ba? Then automatically kapag nag-register yung isang participant, you'll be using AutoCAD to generate the certificate that will be sent to the email of the participants. So once the participant registered, we'll be using Google Form, and then we'll be using Google Sheet to use AutoCAD to automatically generate certificates that will be sent to the email of the participants. So the template of the participants galing naman po sa Google Slide. So ganun po yung ano. So let's try that later. You're welcome po, Ma'am Erivel. So later po, tapusin po natin tong discussion po natin. Next is Google Slides, no? Ano po? What link, sir? The link of the slide presentation. Later po, I'll be giving you a copy of the slide presentation. I'll be giving you my Google Drive link. I'll be sharing the file using Google Drive, of course. Kasi po, ano. Oh, the next tool po that we'll be using. Sige, ma'am. Okay, so the next tool that we'll be discussing is about Google Slides. So this is the counterpart of the Microsoft PowerPoint that we know ginagamit din po natin for our classes. So Google Slides, it creates and presents a professional presentation just like what I'm using right now in my slides. So Google Slide is ideal for authoring and presenting a professional presentation. Okay po? And then we could actually share a Google Slideshow presentation online, just like what I did earlier in my presentation. I share it, I presented it by clicking on the present here. Okay po? Just click on the present, and then it will present it full screen so that your viewers or your audience can see your presentation, including all the animations that you will be putting into your Google Slides. And as you can see, I've created my presentation here in PowerPoint. It's in PPTX, short for Microsoft PowerPoint. So you could actually open a Microsoft PowerPoint presentation using Google Slide, and then you could actually present it. Okay po? So that's one feature that we could actually take advantage of. And of course, you could actually save the presentation as a Google Slide. So on the file menu, you could actually save your presentation as Google Slide, or you could actually make a copy of the entire presentation. Okay? Then you could actually email this file, email it to your collaborators. Okay? You could download it either in Microsoft PowerPoint or in OpenOffice format or in PDF or in any format that you like, depending on the choices that you have here. Then you could actually see the version history, especially if you're working it, if you're collaborating or doing the presentation with your collaborators. Yun po yung term na ginagamit natin in our presentation. So you just have to simply share the slide to your students or to your co-faculty so that your co-faculty can actually do some modification in your slides, especially kapag group work po siya. Or kapag sa mga estudyante naman po natin, if we assigned an activity that the student needs to, let's say, do some animation, di po ba we could actually do animation in Microsoft PowerPoint. So in Google Slide, ganun din po. Ganun din po yung, may mga features din po siya that you could do animation. Yung transition from one bullet to another. So meron po siyang ganun. Okay? And then this is one activity that you could actually do or you could actually assign to your students is creating a timeline sa Google Slides. Kasi ang more on this is where the creativity comes in, tama po ba? Just like what we said earlier. So we could actually ask our students to collaborate with an activity that they would be creating a timeline. So let's say magbigay ka ng activity na ano ba yung mga mahalagang yugto sa buhay mo starting from when you are born until you are right here, right now, sa high school halimbawa or sa college. So you could actually ask them to use Google Slides, do a slide presentation about their personal timeline, and then later save it or share it to you, and then they will be presenting it later. Or yung iba naman, let's say timeline ng mahalagang yugto sa, let's say, sa history ng Pilipinas. Di po ba? Magandang idea po yun na ipagawa. O kaya, ano po ba, timeline ng development ng computers, halimbawa, starting from the first generation hanggang sa 5th generation ngayon. So that activity can also be done here in Google Slides. Kasi you could actually insert images, you could actually include text boxes, audio, video. Sa Google Slide nga po pala, mas mainam po kapag nasa YouTube. Kasi 'di ba yung YouTube is also part of Google. It's also a Google tool, no? So, yung mas mainam po yung mga video na ilalagay natin dito is YouTube link. Para pag present po natin siya, magpi-play po siya. Okay po? Tip yun po. Dapat naka-YouTube. So, madali lang po mag-upload ng di po ba? Ng video sa YouTube. So, punta lang po kayo sa Creator Studio ng YouTube and then upload the file and then wait for it to be uploaded completely. And then you'll just be sharing the link to your class. That's another tool that you could actually use in your class. And then sa mga bata, you could actually ask them to draw shapes, color them, ito ba? The arrows, callouts. Then kung math class po yan, they have equation symbols here. And word art. Kung medyo advanced na po yung mga bata natin, you could actually ask them to include charts in our slide presentation. So you have an option here. If you have a Google Sheet na merong graph, you could actually import that here dito sa Google Slide po natin. Then we have the formatting, you have the slide, and then different tools that are available to you. So, kasi due to the time constraint, we cannot be able to cover all of this. Pero basically po, Google Slide is used for us to measure the creativity of our students. And of course, us also as educators, we can use Google Slide for us to present or to deliver our classes or our lectures. Okay po? Work as a team sa Google Slides. So just have to share it to your students. Mag-collaborate sila. Work on their slides. Real time po ito, no? Kapag gumagawa po sila, then kapag part po kayo ng kanilang activity, you could actually see yung mga changes sa ginagawa ng mga estudyante nyo in real time. Totoo po yun. Okay po? So you could ask them, kapag online po sila, you could ask them to work on the slide, do this activity, and then you could see the changes. You could actually, ito po sa baba. So pwede mong sabihin sila, Group 1, dito kayo sa unang slide. Group 2, dito kayo sa pangalawang slide. Group 3, dito. Nakita mo na you'll see that yung mga changes that they are doing. So ito po sa baba, para makita, meron po siyang grid view para makita mo lahat ng slides natin. Tapos ito po yung isa. Okay po. Just like what I said, you could add video on your Google slide, but I suggest you add a YouTube link. Okay po. You could also add kapag nag-insert po tayo ng video, may option po tayo to share it sa YouTube. Ito po. Or by URL, yung website po, or yung Google Drive. Yan. So you could either, meron po kayong in-upload na Google, na video dun sa Google Drive nyo, you could actually insert it in your presentation also. Okay po. So yan, no, YouTube. Kasi si YouTube is part of Google also. Okay? And then of course, you could actually create your slide using a particular layout. Okay po. So ito po yung mga layout natin. No? Sa taas, may layout. Just like in PowerPoint. So you could actually select the most appropriate layout that you want for your content on a slide. You could actually change also the theme. The themes are in here if you want. So ayan po yung mga, or you could actually import a theme. You could actually download a Google slide theme. May mga websites po that are available that you could actually, may slides go po, alam ko eh. Ito po, you could actually download presentations here. Yan. Pero kailangan nyo po mag-sign up. Or you could actually, kung alam nyo po yung Canva, yung Canva po is yung ganito rin po, gagawa rin po kayo ng mga different projects like posters, like charts, like presentations. You could actually download it in a PowerPoint presentation, then you could open it here po sa Google Slide also. Okay po? So, Google Slides. And then, you could also use animations and slide transitions. Ang maganda po dito, if you've created or if you've designed your slides using Microsoft PowerPoint, some of the transitions or animations that are in that slide supported din po ni Google Slide. Okay po. And then ito po, you could actually convert PowerPoint presentations to Google Slides. So ito, ganito lang po. Click on the file and then save as Google Slide. Ganun lang po siya kasimple. So you could actually explore the different options from the menus para po ano natin tawag po dito, mapaganda pa natin yung ating slide presentation. Okay po? Yan. So, ito yung motion, no? Gusto mong maglagay ng tawag po dito, ng animation or transition to your slides sa motion. Okay? So alam ko ito po yung isa sa magagamit po natin sa ating sa klase. So ano lang po, yan yung mga options that are available to us. Canva for the win. Okay po. Next tool po is yung Google Form. Ito, isa rin po sa gamit natin mga educators is yung Google Forms. So, we actually use Google Form when we're doing assessment for our students. Especially if we're going to ask our students to answer a quiz or an exam. So, we're going to use Google Forms to do that. So, Google Forms is a cloud-based questionnaire and survey software. So you could actually create all your forms online in your browser, and it is a free online tool, no? So it chooses between a palette of colors as well as your own images as a background. Okay po? And then stores the feedback received so we can analyze it in detail. So ito po, mapakaganda. Gustong-gusto ko yung feature nito, no, sa Google Form kasi makita natin may mga visualization na po siya or yung chart automatically na kine-create ni Google para sa atin. And then, what's best also is you could actually integrate Google Form with Google Spreadsheets to view the collected data. Yung mga responses po ng ating mga estudyante. So it allows you to collect the recipient's email addresses and limit their answer. And it allows us to see how the survey will look before sending it over to the recipients. And then, Google Forms are used for creating assessments, quizzes, and surveys. And then ito nga po yung sinabi ko kanina, meron pong add-on yung Google Spreadsheet, yung Autocrat, where you could actually combine Google Forms, Google Slides, and Google Spreadsheet for you to automatically generate certificates, no? Certificates for your participants. Or for mga estudyante po ninyo kapag nag-attend ng isang event, or halimbawa kung gagawa po kayo ng grade, di ba? Gusto nyo pong isend sa kanila, hindi nyo na kailangan manually, are going to type it in a document. So you could actually use this Autocrat add-on. So paano po gumawa ng Google Form? Sige po, gawa tayo. Google Form po ito. Blank form. Pwede rin pong blank quiz or from a template. So meron pong available po sa atin. Kung gagawa po tayo ng blank form, ganito po yung itsura niya. So ayan, halimbawa, DICT, Google Apps, demo. So you could actually, ayan, yung name natin. Tapos, pwede mong sabihin na last name. Tapos yung siguro short answer siya. Siguro mo siyang required. Tapos ang isang maganda dito, you could actually duplicate it. First name. Halimbawa, required. Tapos let's say, school. Anong pangalan ng school? Name of school. So, ganyan. Tapos you have an option here sa settings. So you could actually make this a quiz. Kapag may quiz po, you could actually search yung yung ang tawag po dito, yung answer key. So meron po akong halimbawa. Saan po yung halimbawa ko ng ay open ko na lang Google Form ko. Ay, kaya pala. Wait lang po. So ito po, halimbawa. Ayan po, madami po akong quiz na ginawa. Ayan. So, mas meron din, saan ba yung example? Ito yung assessment, halimbawa po. So, pwede akong gumawa ng yung answer key. Ay, hindi pala. Ito, exam. Kala ko. Ito. So, kapag clinic nyo po itong itong isang particular exam question, you could actually set the answer. So, yun po. May answer key po siya. Tapos kung anong points po yung ibibigay po natin. Okay po. So, sa settings po niya, naka-quiz po siya. Kasi pag may quiz po siya, you'll be given additional options. So, meron pong immediately after each submission, you're going to provide feedback to your students. So, ayan. Itong Chromebook sa po to, sa medyo higher version na po ng ng workspace. So, you could also ask yung mga options for missed questions, correct answers, point values. Sa responses po, kailangan po mag-collect po tayo ng email addresses. Kasi yung email address po, yan po yung identification din po ng estudyante natin eh. So dapat po mag-collect po talaga tayo ng email. Tsaka siyempre, isa-set po natin na limit to 1 response lang. Para hindi na po siya makasagot. Kasi iba po na yung iba pong mga estudyante din gagamit po ng ibang email addresses din po 'yan. Kailangan kilala niya rin po yung mga email addresses din po ng mga students natin. Tapos there is an option kapag subscribe po kayo sa Google Workspace for Education, you will have this option if you're going to restrict users in your institution lang po or trusted organization. Okay po. Yan po yung mga options that you could use. Tapos ang maganda po dito, ayan. Makikita nyo po kagad yung yung insight. So up to 70 po ito. Tingnan nyo po makikita nyo po yung range po ng scores ng ating mga estudyante. Tapos kung ano yung pinakamataas. Ayan. So makikita nyo po yung performance. So graphically, you'll have an idea kung paano po ano po yung performance po ng klase natin. O, di ba po? Ang dami pong may mga bumagsak po sa exam na to. Sorry po. Tapos ang isa pang ito po yung mga questions po natin, no? Kapag nag-item analysis po tayo, di po ba mga ma'am, mga sir? Ayan. So makakatulong po itong frequently missed questions natin. Or kahit hindi ka gumagawa ng item analysis, makikita mo talaga yung saan nahirapang area yung inyong mga estudyante. So ang gagawin mo ngayon, as an educator, gagawa ka ngayon ng ng parang you're going to discuss that again to them and then measure mo ulit. Di po ba ganun tayo mga educator? Kapag kasi ayaw naman natin na pumunta pa sa susunod na topic unless alam natin na yung mga estudyante natin nakuha na yung concept. Especially kapag medyo technical po yung pinag-uusapan sa klase natin. Ito po yung scores po nila, taka yung time po kung kailan nila sinubmit. Oh no, yung in-release pala ito. Ito po yung individual po ng mga response po nila. O ayan, nagpaano na rin po ako, nagpa-assess na rin po ako. Ayan, so ayan po yung kanilang option. Para ikaw din, makita mo sa sarili mo as the instructor kung paano rin po yung performance nyo. Ayan, so di ba napakagandang feature po ng Google Form po ito. Ayan, yung level of effort nila, kita mo. Level of skill at the start. Tapos, tinanong mo sila at the end of the course. O, ito na yung itsura. O, kahit pa paano may improvement, mga sir. Di po ba? Tapos yung overall experience natin. Ayan. Tapos ito na po yung mga questions natin. Ayan. Makita po natin yung mga incorrect at correct answers. Okay po? Tapos po may mga pagkakataon, may mga sitwasyon na, ma'am, sir, nagkamali po kasi ako doon sa nawalan po kami ng internet, sir, mga ganon. Nagkamali po ako, sir, ng ganito, ganyan. So you could actually, di po ba nakaset po yung ating Google form na limit lang to one response for one email address. So you could actually delete one response. Okay po? Para pag dinelete mo po yung response niya, makakapag-exam po uli siya. So syempre depende po sa sitwasyon po ninyo, no? Kung gagamitan niyo po yung ganong feature. Pero magandang po siya, magandang feature para sige, delete ko tong nauna mong response. Say you could do the assessment or you could do the evaluation again using your email address. So pwede pong makita natin yung score natin, yung score ng bawat estudyante. Ayan, no? Kita niyo po. Ito po yung sagot niya. Okay? Yung sagot po niya. So makikita niyo po yung niya, yung sagot po niya if ever na may issue po dun sa isa. Tsaka po maganda po ito, especially kapag may mga question po kasi, may mga question po sa Google Form na hindi kayo pwede magbigay ng answer key. Especially kapag yung question type nyo is long answer. Meron po ba akong sample ng... Especially, halimbawa, ito pong aking exam ay... Meron pong ay, wala. Meron pong actual na code. So kapag nag-create ka po kasi ng bagong question, tapos yung mo po is a long answer, paragraph, mahirap pong maglagay ng answer key dyan. Kaya pag ang gagawin mo na lang po, maglagay ka ng feedback. Add feedback kung saan kapag i-check mo siya, okay, yun po yung magiging guide mo. Okay? So maba yan. Test. Yan yung add feedback mo. Tapos yung question mo is, kasi ito yung mo, scoring mo, let's say 5 points yan, done. Tapos yung question mo, yan, sample, halimbawa. So kapag mag-check ka, ang checking mo nun, individual po eh. Individual. So kapag ito po yung dulo niya, wala siyang sagot halimbawa. Pero may feedback po siya. Tapos ayun, you could actually, based on the answer, halimbawa may sagot po siya dyan, based on the answer, you could actually set anong pong score ng bata based on the feedback. Parang guide mo sa pag-check. Ganun po yung ginagawa ko. Kasi may mga questions po talaga na po talaga siya, parang subjective or especially sa programming po kasi, no? Sa programming, pag magpapaprogram ka, code, wala po kasi talaga na, marami po kasing solution, no? Sa isang problem. So meron ka lang parang feed yung guide mo to what are the different elements that needs to be in the solution, and then based on the answer of the student, you could actually evaluate yung score po niya. Bigyan niyo po siya ng tamang score. So, ganun po yung sa Google Form. Okay po? So, saan na ba yung presentation ko? So, pagtapos po nito, so yan, thank you na po. So, those are, pero may mga additional po na, gaya po ng calendar. Yung calendar po, pag nagkaklase po ako, share ko na lang po yung ko po, yung experience ko po dito. Parang additional lang po na tool. Ayan, so you could actually get your new calendar sa Google Play at sa App Store. So that's also, kasi, wala pong kuryente sa atin. If meron tayong power interruption, you could actually use our phone to set our calendar or to join our Google Meet. Google Meet na lang po at yung calendar. Last na po. So, share ko na lang yung calendar ko na may laman. Ito. So, ayan. So, ito po yung calendar ko, So, meron mamayang 4 to 6, meron po akong klase. So, ang ginagawa ko po dyan, pag magsiset po ako ng klase, syempre po, we are going to put in, let's say, a sample. And then I could actually set the date. Halimbawa, 1 to 2. Tapos, we could actually set it to, let's say, daily, weekly on Friday. Then you have other options. Para po regularly, ma-update po yung ating mga estudyante. And then you could actually, ang ginagawa ko po dito, I'll be putting in all the email addresses of my students. Okay po, para kapag sinend ko po ito or sinave ko, automatically this schedule will be sent to all the email addresses of my students. Para po wala pong, di po ba? Para hindi po natin maririnig from our students na, sir, hindi ko po alam na may klase po pala tayo. Sir, hindi ko po alam, sir, wala po nagsabi sa akin eh. Diba? Ganun po yung mga maririnig natin sa mga estudyante natin, tama po? So, para maiwasan yon, I always tell to my students na our schedule will be sent to your email addresses. So please regularly check your email so that you'll know the invite link so that you could participate in my class. Ganun po. So I'll be pasting or putting in all the email addresses of my students. And then I could actually create a Google Drive link here. And then I could add description. Okay po, I could add description kung ano po yung topics natin for the day, kung sino po yung naka-assign to present a certain topic or to help me discuss the topic that we'll be discussing for that day. Okay po. And then I could also add attachment from my drive to the shared drives. Lahat po yan. I could actually do that. Pwede ko ring i-attach po yung assessment po kanina, yung Google Form that I did. I could actually attach that dun sa aking calendar, and then that will be sent also to the email of the students na makita ng estudyante na may quiz. Siyempre, pag clinic na yun, naka-off yun nga po pala, naka-off. Nakalimutan ko. So, meron pong option dito na you could actually toggle yung Google Form na stop accepting responses muna. Okay po? Kasi pag nakita nila yung link ng exam, pupuntahan kaagad nila yan. So stop nyo po muna yung We stop first. We toggle off muna yung ating quiz so that later, kapag oras na po, we could actually toggle natin yan para makapag-accept po tayo ng mga responses. So going back, we could actually share any attachment like our slides, like other stuff or videos, supplemental materials dun po sa ating klase. Okay po. Tapos dahil may Google Meet na po yan, we could actually share it. Ito yung isang maganda. Halimbawa, may chat group. You contact the president of or the leader of the class. O ito, Mr. Ganyan. Kung gusto nyo mag-Facebook Messenger, this is the link for our class. You could share it. But nasa email nyo na po lahat yan. So fortunately naman po, sa experience ko po, nawala na po yung ganong mga sitwasyon na sasabihin na, "Sir, di ko alam na may klase po pala kayo. Sir, di ko po alam, wala po nagsabi sa akin." So ngayon, wala na po nagsasabi sa akin ng ganon. Kasi lahat sila. Malaking tulong po kapag yung school po natin kasi is meron pong email addresses po talaga na binibigay doon sa ating mga estudyante na for school lang po talaga. For school. Pero kapag wala naman po, on our orientation, I suggest na we get the email addresses ng ating mga estudyante. Tapos ito po yung i-add natin dito sa calendar natin. Tapos ang maganda rin pong feature niyan, di ko na po isi-save, no? Kasi po pag nag-class meeting po kayo, automatically, yung Google Meet nyo, ito po, as you can see, automatically, it will be attached dun po sa susunod na class meeting nyo. Yung recording po ninyo. Sa Google Meet po kapag, if your school is subscribe to Google Workspace for Education, yung fundamentals po, you could actually record your class. Tapos, if you set another calendar, you could actually attach the recording. Or kapag dinuplicate nyo po ito, meron po kasing duplicate. Yun po yung ginagawa ko. I could duplicate this, set it to another date, and automatically the recording of the previous schedule will be attached on the class. So that, magandang feature po ito kapag yung mga estudyante po na hindi naka-attend ng klase or very intermittent yung kanyang internet connection, yung talagang wala silang load, pasensya na po sir, di po ba, they could still watch what has transpired or kung ano yung na-discuss during the previous meetings. Di po ba, para no one will be left behind, ika nga po. Kasi may mga estudyante po tayo na ganun yung sitwasyon, so we cannot get away from that. Pero 'di ba, Google has provided us feature para yung recording ng ating mga klase ay maibigay natin sa kanila. Di po ba? So dito po ako nagsiset sa calendar. So kapag nasa meeting po ako, halimbawa ito mamaya. So kapag dito po sa Google Meet, so yan, camera failed kasi po gamit po ng Zoom yung camera ko. Pero kapag nag-join ka po dyan, ito po yung itsura niya. So you could actually have an option to record your meeting. Ito po. Sa mga free users po, alam ko walang record meeting. Tapos, automatically, yung record meeting na yan will be saved dun po sa Google Drive po natin. Tapos, you could change your layout. Kasi po, by default, naka-9 po yan. So, kung halimbawa, more than 49 po yung total spotlight, just like the Zoom. Oops. Yan po yung sa tiled layout para makita po natin yung ating mga estudyante na naka-tile. Especially kapag magka-class picture po tayo, di ba? Mahilig po tayo doon. Ako po, araw-araw kong ginagawa yun, nagka-class picture kami. So, importante din po na sabihin natin sa mga estudyante natin na yung yung account po natin, lagyan natin ng picture. Okay po? Pero syempre, 'di ba, dahil meron tayong provision sa data privacy law, syempre we ask permission, no, from our students to record, first and foremost, to record our class meeting, and then to take a picture. So hindi naman required na mag-open cam, pero mas mainam na may makita tayo ng picture dun sa mga accounts po nila. Just like what you're seeing right now dito po sa screen natin. Di po ba, para mas para mas makita din natin sila kahit paano. Don't worry naman, sasabihin naman natin sa kanila, we tell them that we will not be publishing or we will not be posting it on a public platform. So we'll just keep it for document purposes. Kasi we need to comply with the data privacy law, no? So that's how I conduct my classes, especially if I need to record our meeting and to take screenshot. And kapag naka-record po yan, all the comments, all the chats, all the things na sasabihin po ng mga estudyante natin din sa chat box will also be recorded na nakasave dun po sa Google Meet natin. Okay po? So, yun po, no? So, Google Calendar and Google Meet. So, stop ko na po ito. So, kapag in-end call ko na po siya, okay na po. And I could actually close it. Yeah. So that's it for the Google Apps. So we've covered all the tools na nandun po sa ating slides, and plus other features like Google Scholar, like Google Calendar and Google Meet. So I hope, mga ma'am, mga sir, kahit papano, I've managed to ano ba magandang word po doon, I've managed to at least provide you additional knowledge, no, or learnings when it comes to the use of Google Apps that we could use sa online teaching. So, thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much again to DICT for this opportunity. And we hope na we keep delivering quality education to our students. Kasi di ba, we're all educators at heart, di po ba? So we want naman po na kahit ganito po yung setup natin, wala pa po tayong hybrid, wala pa po tayong face-to-face, we could still help our students especially deliver what needs to be delivered sa ating mga klase. Siyempre po naman. And di po ba, mairaos po natin yung pagbibigay ng edukasyon sa ating mga estudyante. So thank you very much po for this opportunity. Thank you, and see you again po sa mga susunod po ng mga activities ng DICT.
Yun po. Thank you din, Sir Arnie. Thank you po for the very informational Google application tools po. Very neatly discussed din naman siya. Thank you, Sir Arnie. And ayun, mag-share screen na lang din ako for our Q&A po. So, nakikita na po ba yung screen ko?
Yes po.
Yes po. Ayun. We are open for questions po. So, Sir Arnie, kanina may question tayo from Angeli Ganancial. Sir, paano po i-remove yung streak sa email? I think, Sir Arnie, nakamute ka po.
Yes, so, Ma'am, I'll get back to Mama Angeli, Mama, kasi hindi pa po na-encounter yung ganyan.
Okay. Yun, Ma'am
Get back to
Angie.
Ma'am Angeli. Please email me po.
Sige. Ano po ba yung email niyo, Sir Arnie? Para
I'll
bigyan natin.
be, wait lang po. I'll be posting in my email address for any questions that you may have.
So,
Po yung
ayun.
that is my email address po.
Okay. Ayun, everyone. Pinost ni Sir Arnie sa chat box natin yung kanyang email address. So, if you have any further questions rin, you can send it din naman sa kanya. It's armada.arnie@gordoncollege.edu.ph. Pero, Sir Arnie, can we entertain some questions pa po ba?
Sige po, sige po.
Yes po, from Ma'am Greta, sabi niya is, can we collaborate with different people with Google Docs in real time?
Yes, ma'am. You could actually do that by sharing your Google document. Yung pinakita ko po kanina na, can I share screen po, ma'am?
Okay, stop ko lang po. Okay. Go ahead, sir.
Ito po, ma'am. So you could actually share, ito po halimbawa, I could share it to my students. Oops, I'm sorry po. Type lang po natin yung email address po ng ating mga students or mga co-faculty na you would like to be collaborators dito po sa slide presentation natin sa Google Slides. So you could also do that sa Google Docs or sa Google Sheets and other Google tools po. You could actually do that. Ito lang po, just click on the share button here sa taas on the top right corner of your screen and then ano po natin, ilagay po natin yung mga email addresses natin. Ganun po.
Ayun. Thank you po, Sir Arnie, for answering the question. And we have another question po from our participant. I think it is named Oppo F11. Sabi niya, Sir, sometimes po kapag checkbox ang ginagamit ko, kapag may mali silang sagot, di na nakakount yung score sa checkbox area.
Wow. Kapag checkbox po, kapag multiple responses po kasi siya, may multiple response po kaya ako dito. Gawa po tayo ng questions na multiple response.
Sige po, sir.
Sa questions. So kapag gagawa po tayo ng multiple response, usually checkbox po ang tawag po natin, yung gagamitin natin. Importante po na sample, option 1, option 2. Pag gagawa po tayong answer key, kailangan po make sure po na i-check po natin to. Yung dalawa. Tapos lalagyan po natin ng points. So yun po yung procedure on how to do multiple responses using a checkbox. Okay po. So make sure po, ulitin ko po na doon po ito po sa question natin na checkbox po yung pinili natin. We click on the answer, lagyan po isang option. Click on the answer key here and then we select the correct answers. Tapos yung pointing system po natin dapat. Meron po tayo. Tapos, kung gusto niyo maglagay po ng feedback for incorrect answers or for correct answers, you could actually do that by putting in whatever message that you want for the students to see. Doon po sa kapag nirelease na po natin yung kanilang score. Ang sa checkbox po kasi kapag kulang po, kapag kulang, 0 po yun eh. Kapag sobra yung sagot niya doon sa tamang sagot, 0 din po. Kaya mahalaga po na i-ano po natin, tawag po dito, i-review po natin yung sagot ng isang estudyante dun sa pinaka-last na quest, dun sa multiple responses. Okay po, kaya kung makita natin na kulang, pero tama naman yung sagot, so baka pwedeng magbigay ka na lang ng, let's say 1 point, kung tama yung sagot niya. Kung meron siyang isang tamang sagot. Pero kung sobra, syempre, 0 po yan. Or for me po 0 po siya. So ganun po yung gagawin natin kapag multiple responses. Yes po, manual checking po. Ganun po talaga, ma'am. Mahirap po kasi, ma'am, kasi syempre ayun natin na masiro yung mga estudyante natin, di ho ba? Kaya ano po talaga, manually pa rin po. Kapag ano po mga sitwasyon po, no? Kapag multiple responses.
Ayun. Ayun, Sir Arnie, meron pang question from Maxil Orokay. Sabi niya, is case sensitive ba si Google Form?
Ang ginagawa ko po is kapag doon sa, let's say, para safe po, no? Regardless kung multiple ano po siya, kung case sensitive ba siya or hindi. Ang ginagawa ko, I put multiple correct answers, especially kapag mga short answers po. Para safe po, no? So kapag short answer siya, paragraph, short answer pala. Short answer, yung answer key ko po, maglalagay po ako ng mga ganyan. Tapos kasi minsan din po may mga tamang sagot na 2 word para lahat po tanggapin niya. Para safe po. Kasi minsan may mga technical glitches po talaga na makita natin na dahil sa internet connection po medyo may ganun din po ako nararanasan eh. Pero para safe po, ganito po yung ginagawa ko po. Tapos may scoring din siya. Okay po. Di ko na po na-demo yung sa yung sa autocrat.
Yes sir, okay lang kasi understandable, we have very limited time din naman po. And nagbigay ka naman din sir ng email address mo on how they can contact you rin naman. Ayun sir, may isa pang question tayo na pwedeng i-entertain is from J. Lord. Sir, ano pong pinagkaiba ng MS Teams sa Google Meet?
Ang MS Teams po is, ito po yung counterpart ng, basically kasi ang MS Teams po gawa ni Microsoft, ang Google Meet gawa po ni Google. So we all know that they're separate tech company. So meron pong counterpart if you are, alam po sa DepEd, MS Teams po yung gamit nila. Pero po sa amin po, Google Meet. So may mga functionality po sa yung MS Teams po, naka-connect po yan sa Office 365 kung di po ako nagkakamali ni Microsoft. Sa Google Meet naman po, naka-connect po yung mga other Google applications na meron po si Google. So ang pinagkaiba po nila, depending po yan doon sa organization na kung ano po yung preferred po nila na suite. Sa ibang organization po, MS Teams ang gamit. Sa ibang organization naman po is Google Meet. Sa ibang organization, Zoom po yung gamit nila. Okay po? Pero may mga counterpart si Google, si MS Teams po, meron pong counterpart dito po dito na po si Word, Excel, PowerPoint. Ano po kasi Microsoft po 'yon. Pero kay Google, doon po yung Google Docs, Google Spreadsheet, at Google Slides. So it is a matter of preference ng organization po kung saan po tayo nag-work.
Ayun. And I hope everyone yung questions na nabanggit natin is na-answer naman ni Sir. Ano po, sorry, due to very limited time na lang din naman, I advise na yung mga other questions and your future questions na lang din, you may send it to Sir Arnie rin naman. Okay lang po ba yun, Sir Arnie?
Opo, please. Pasensya na po if we have so little time.
Opo, ayun. So, thank you, Sir Arnie, for your discussion, and to appreciate you, we wanted to give you the Certificate of Recognition from Department of Information and Communications Technology, and is awarded to Arnie de Guzman Armada in grateful recognition of his or her invaluable support as resource speaker during the webinar entitled Google Applications as Tool for Online Teaching, of the Technology Empowerment for Economic Development, or the TECH4ED program of the Department of Information and Communications Technology, Luzon Cluster 2. Given this 22nd day of October 2021 and signed by our Regional Director, Engineer Reynaldo TC. Thank you, Sir Arnie.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you po, DICT.
Thank you, thank you. And I hope everyone may natutunan kayo. Pero before we end this, let's have a closing remarks from our Technical Operations Division Chief, Engineer Petronilo Villafuerte. Sir Nilo, good morning.
Hello po.
Good morning, Sir Nilo.
Good morning. Good morning. Tapos na pala tayo. Anyway, good morning everyone. I hope my signal is clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Again, good morning. As we conclude this today's event on Google Apps as tool for online teaching, and on behalf of our Cluster Director, Engineer Reynaldo TC, our sincerest thanks to everyone who's with us to today's event. Thank you po sa lahat presente ninyo, especially to our resource speaker, Mr. Arnie Armada. Thank you so much, sir, for being with us this webinar to share with us your time and your expertise on Google Apps as tool for online teaching. And I would like also to thank our team in the ICT Cluster 2, to Ma'am Yena, to Ma'am Roma, and Ma'am Rana for all the effort in the success of this webinar. And of course, to all our attendees, Ma'am and Sir, thank you also for your time. I hope you enjoyed and learn a lot from it, from our RP Arnie Armada, with regard to the applications of Google Tools. Sana rin yung ating natutunan na may apply po natin sa ating day-to-day activities, especially in our teaching activities sa ating mga schools. And hope with this initiative po, talagang will be benefited from it. And once more, good morning everyone, and may God bless us all.
Yon. Thank you, Sir Nilo. Good morning rin po. And also, I would like to thank our technical person today, Sir Carlo is with us, Sir Carlo Abad. Thank you. And then before we send our post-evaluation form, everyone, may we ask for you to open your camera so we can have our photo ops.
Thank you rin Sir Carlo.
Yes, Ma'am Mary Rose, yes po. Sure naman po na maisasend yung certificate po. Yes po, give us just 2 weeks from now maybe. Gawin lang po namin. Ayun, Sir Carlo, pasuyo na lang po for our photo ops.
Sige po, smile lang po kayo, 4 pages po.
Ayun. Thank you everyone for joining us today. I hope meron kayong natutunan, and if may question, wag po mahiya din naman, magtanong din po. Thank you everyone. Keep safe, and I'll be sending the link din po dito sa ating chat box para sa ating post-evaluation form. Inaanyayahan po namin na mag-fill out kayo, and make sure na tama po yung ating mga email address doon. Kasi pag mali, hindi na po namin kayo matitrace. Ano po? Ayan. Thank you everyone. I hope may natutunan po kayo. Keep safe and God bless po. Ayan na po yung post-evaluation form. Thank you din po, Sir Arnie. See you again on our future webinars po. Thank you.
Thank you po sa lahat. Sir Arnie, thank you so much. And
Yes,
to
sir.
my team, salamat po sa lahat.
Thank you,
Sir
Sir.
Carlos, Sir Niena, and Ma'am Roma, and Ma'am Rana. Salamat ng marami. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye po, Sir Nila. Thank you. Yes, Galaxy J7 Prime, you're raising your hand po. Do you have question regarding the post-evaluation form?
Baka napindot lang po.
Ayun, baka napindot lang. Ayun. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Sir Carlo.
Thank you po sa lahat.